Imagine this. You're walking down the street, sipping your coffee, thinking about what to binge watch next when suddenly, bam! The sky lights up like it's the 4th of July, but it's not fireworks. Nope, it's a giant asteroid hurtling toward Earth like it just got lost on its way through space. And guess what? It's about to crash land right in our backyard. Now before you drop your coffee, let's rewind a little and talk about what happens when a super asteroid, the size of a small mountain, decides to visit Earth. First, let's clear up one thing. Asteroids aren't exactly new. We've had close calls before. Scientists have spotted thousands of these space rocks zipping by, but most of the time, they pass us by like a distant relative who doesn't want to stop and chat. However, a super asteroid, one bigger than anything we've ever seen, is a totally different story. We're talking about a chunk of rock so massive it could make the asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs look like a pebble. Fun, right? So what happens when it smacks into Earth? Well, the first thing you'd notice is the bright light in the sky. Imagine the sun shining at you, times 1,000. That's how bright it would be as it burns up in the atmosphere. You might even get a chance to make a wish. Just kidding, don't bother. There won't be time for that. As the asteroid approaches, it doesn't quietly knock on the door. Nope. It crashes into the surface at around 30,000 miles per hour. Basically faster than your Wi-Fi can download a movie. The impact? Think of it as a billion nuclear bombs going off all at once. Yeah, not a pretty sight. The ground would shake like it's having a bad day. And everything in the immediate area, trees, buildings, your favorite taco place, would be wiped out faster than you can say apocalypse. But it doesn't stop there. Oh no, the real fun begins after the impact. The asteroid would send out shockwaves that travel around the globe. Imagine sitting in your living room, far away from ground zero, and suddenly your windows start rattling, your floors start shaking, and your dog starts hiding under the couch. That's the shockwave making its way to you, delivering a not-so-friendly reminder of the chaos that's unfolding. If you thought tsunamis were bad, wait until you see the super tsunamis. The ocean gets angry, really angry. Waves as tall as skyscrapers would be crashing onto coastlines, wiping out cities like sandcastles on the beach. If you live anywhere near the coast, well, let's just say a surfboard won't help you much. And don't get too comfortable if you're inland either. The impact would throw up so much dirt, debris, and dust into the atmosphere that it would block out the sun. Yes, you read that right. Goodbye, sunshine. Earth would be plunged into darkness, kind of like when you're binge-watching Netflix and forget what daylight looks like. Except this would last for years. Welcome to the new ice age, where the weather is colder than your ex's heart, and plants stop growing because, no sunlight. With no sunlight, the food chain would collapse. Plants can't grow, so animals can't eat. And without animals, well, there goes our dinner. We'd be fighting for canned beans like they're gold. But hey, it's not all bad news. Humans are resilient, right? We'd come together, build underground bunkers, and try to survive. Maybe we'd even start a new trend. Asteroid chic fashion, thermal suits and gas masks. It's the future, baby. Of course, governments would try their best to stop the asteroid before it hits. Send a crew of astronauts up there to blow it up, Armageddon style. But let's be real. If that movie taught us anything, it's that drilling into an asteroid is not as easy as it sounds. Plus, Bruce Willis isn't around to save the day this time. But in all seriousness, if an asteroid this size was headed our way, space agencies like NASA and others would do their best to track it and potentially divert it. There's even talk of using nukes in space to break it apart, or sending spacecraft to nudge it off its path. Typical space stuff. Back on Earth, while scientists and engineers scramble for a solution, the rest of us would probably be tweeting memes about the apocalypse or arguing whether pineapple should be on pizza during the end times. Now, assuming we survive the initial chaos, things might eventually start to settle. The dust would slowly clear, sunlight would return, and Earth would begin to heal. But let's be honest, it would take a long time. We're talking centuries before things get back to anything resembling normal. And by then, who knows what humans would look like. We'd probably evolve into superhumans who can survive without sunlight, just like those weird fish that live at the bottom of the ocean. And when future generations look back on this event, they'll tell stories about how their great-great-grandparents lived through the asteroid apocalypse, fought off super tsunamis, and figured out how to make beans taste good for years on end. So the next time you hear about an asteroid passing by, just be thankful it's giving us a polite wave instead of crashing our party. But if one ever does decide to pay a visit, well, let's just hope we're all stocked up on beans. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.